This is the Hard Thing Podcast. Today, we are overcoming average. Welcome back to another episode of the Hard Thing Podcast, friends. This is the podcast that helps you overcome average, step up above mediocrity, all by doing hard things. We're here to give you the tips, tricks, tools, tactics, really whatever you need in order to do those hard things, feel more fulfilled, and reach your goals. Be actually where you want to be and be the person you want to be. We're here to give you practical means by which to do that, as well as the general strategies that you can accomplish those things. Today's our Thursday meditation show, where Ty, my co-host, say hello, Ty.
Hello.
We put ourselves in the trenches. We experiment to figure out how to do hard things the best way possible. We test things and we literally give ourselves challenges and do action items in order to hopefully give you examples of what doing hard things looks like, but also hopefully inspire you to do the same thing. And usually on our Thursday meditation show, we do three things. One, we talk about the challenge that one of us gave to the other one 2 weeks ago. Then we talk about the action items given to us by our Monday show guest. So every Monday I interview a high-performing individual who's done extraordinary things and done hard things, and they always give us these action items. So we talk about those. And then the last thing is we give a new challenge to the person who reports on his challenge. So, sorry, I almost said his or her.
Justin's the her.
No, you're the her. You're freaking the her, man. Anyways, so let's start off with the previous challenge. And I believe that's me, right? So, 2 weeks ago, you gave me 3 challenges, of which I chose 2, right? One of those was to do a sprint triathlon, okay? And the other one was to create my investment plan.
Love it.
And I did both of those things. The investment plan was...
Is it a real investment plan, Justin?
Probably not by your standards. But for me, it's more of a framework by which I can fill in action items for me to do and check off.
That was the goal of the plan thing, so anything that you did really ends
up,
if it helps you get into a point where you're following
the guidelines of Socrates and
such and so forth.
Okay, anyways, so the sprint triathlon we did last Saturday in conjunction with #Dead Week.
#Dead Week. We should talk about that.
Yeah, you talk
Let's
about
talk about Dead Week
Go ahead.
right now, because to be honest,
it was
Dead Week sucked. Okay, it was awesome, but it sucked because my body was just in so much pain. And on Thursday, if you guys were paying attention to my Instagram story, which probably weren't, but that's okay. On Thursday I got a migraine in the middle of the workout, and I didn't do very many of I think it was sit-ups and pull-ups.
Yeah.
And so on Friday I had to do 400, which is the squats, the push-ups, the pull-ups, and the sit-ups. But I also had to do the day before's sit-ups and pull-ups. And so that was an intense workout. Like, that was crazy. And I remember I was just sitting under the bar doing my pull-ups. I think I had 80 left, and I was like, I can't do anymore. I'm done. Like, I'd already done 220 pull-ups, and I'm like, and all the other workouts for that day. I'm like, I can't do it. So I just stared at the bar, and then finally, after doing like 3 at a time, I finally did it, right? So that's Friday. Then the next day, Saturday. Saturday is it's 100 pull-ups and 100 sit-ups. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then it's a sprint triathlon. So a sprint triathlon is a half mile. Then you have your 12.4 mile bike
half-mile
ride.
Swim. You just said half mile.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's a half mile.
It's 1.5 mile, guys. A half mile swim, a 12.4 mile bike ride, and then a 3.1 mile run. And so, like, my body's already dead from Friday, and then we have to do this. And I woke up early with Justin. I guess not that early, but from when I fell asleep, which was 4 o'clock for some reason. Couldn't fall asleep till 4 that night. It's probably because my body was in so much pain. But anyways, yeah, Dead Week was a success for Justin and I. We both did it. We completed it.
Yeah, dude.
But it was, I was dead at the end of the week.
Dude, it was good, though. Like, one of the days, my wife commented, and she was like, I think you're losing some weight because of this Dead Week thing. And I was like, yes.
Probably.
Yes.
With how much...
And then, like, Sunday night comes along, and I'm like, okay, what's my workout plan this week? And I'm like, I don't know. I've been doing Dead Week for 2 weeks, more or less.
1 week. Oh,
no,
yeah,
I did
right.
it the week before, but I didn't do all of it, but I did most of it.
Right.
So, like, last night I was kind of just like, Gotta figure something else out to
Yeah.
do.
I think this will be a rest week, and what I mean by rest week is not that like I'm just gonna stop working out.
Sure.
But that that I'm gonna do like less of a workout, or like less frequently, not every single day.
Right.
I'll have like rest days. But then next week, you know what we should do? We could do this if you wanted to. It'll be Dead Week version 2.
Bread week?
It'll be easy. Bread week? No.
What about bread week? A week without bread.
I'll say Murph week.
Murph week. Do you run inside? Like on a treadmill?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense why you're suggesting that.
Well, I mean, we can
Would you
make
run outside with me?
Yeah.
In the
I would.
mornings?
I mean, maybe not the mornings, but we could run. Dude, I hate the mornings.
Dude,
Here's
I
my
hate
problem.
the cold.
The past 2 weeks, since the election, because the election night, I stayed up late, and I was just like watching all
The
these.
election.
I was watching like 5 different live streams of the election.
Because you have like 4 computers in your office.
Yeah, well, no, I only have 1 computer. Anyway, stop pointing at things. Anyway, so that kept me up, and then because the election's been going on forever, it's like I've been watching things, and then I stay up and look at social media and blah blah blah. So I've been really screwing myself because of how tired or how much
stop
how late
it.
I'm staying up.
Yeah.
You're right. I need to stay up. I mean, I need to go sleep.
Stay up tight.
Here, but okay, I will try to. I mean, if we end up doing like Murph week, right? I will try to wake up early. But I think it would be cool if you adjusted your schedule a little bit, maybe twice or two days out of the week to do it after work.
So you're saying compromise.
Yes, because I do not want to wake up every single day next week. Super early. I'm fine waking up a little bit earlier.
Is the challenge just doing a Murph every day?
That could be the challenge, man. But we can do whatever we want.
Okay.
But I think that's a legit challenge.
Okay, yeah. That would be fun. And it would give me something to have, like, workout-wise. Just because...
Well, and maybe the expectation is that we don't do every single one together, because I find that that's really hard anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'll make a commitment that I'll still run outside, though. Every single time. Like, I'll do all the workouts in the gym, and then I'll just go out and run outside. Just by the lake here.
Even though it's cold.
Yeah, I need to get a dog so I can run with a dog.
Dude, it actually does help.
Dude, I bet, because, like, they just want to run.
Well, not just that, but, like, there's this belt that Michaela's parents have.
Uh-huh.
Put the leash on it, and, like, the dog kind of pulls you. So it's like, really nice.
So you don't even have to hold the leash.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Except for what I want is I want a dog. Well, I want to train my dog so well that I can just
Run right next to you.
Right next to me.
Yeah.
And going back to that show I was watching.
Oh, you shut up with that show.
Well, she taught a dog how to run by the side and just not have and it was a crazy dog. It was like insane.
Dude,
it was
nuts.
like running around, didn't listen to anything.
Yeah.
She taught it to just run right next to her.
Wow.
And she didn't need a leash. That's how, dude. So yeah.
Dude, I'll have to check that out and take care of my freaking crazy dog. My investment plan. A little bit about that.
Yeah.
As we move on.
Wait. So what were the two challenges? Were
Sprint triathlon.
How did because we've been talking about the dead week. How did the sprint triathlon go before we jump into the investment plan?
It was interesting. I pushed myself more than I thought I could.
Yeah.
There wasn't as many ramifications except my freaking butt, dude. I hate the biking part is the worst for me because it takes an hour.
Dude.
First of all, it takes so long.
Yes, you're just sitting there biking, and it's like, can I at least do something else? Maybe if we were outside, because we were using stationary bikes for those listening, and so you're just sitting there. I mean, I put YouTube on halfway through, so that actually made it go by really fast. But
for me, what helped me keep going when I was running, I kept on thinking about Will Smith. He has this quote that the difference between me and anyone else is you put me on a treadmill with anyone else, and I will not get off that treadmill until I die. I will die on that treadmill. And that's what he says. That's his mindset. I will work until I die. Yeah. And in my mind, and before I've always thought this mental, challenge of what if you did die on a treadmill? Could you do that? So that was kind of what was keeping me going on the treadmill. And then while swimming, I was thinking about one of our past podcast guests. Her name's Anel Bester. She's from Australia. and she ran this. It's called the Sky Run. It's like 24-hour like race through the mountains of New Zealand. You're self-navigating. You're all alone.
Oh boy.
And like at a certain point, if you don't come back, they have to send out search parties because you're lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing. And she kept on realizing that like my body's telling me you can't go another step, right? And if you go one more step, then your body's lying to you. And so I kept on like thinking about that as I was swimming. And
I like that a ton.
Yeah. It's really powerful because it's like, yeah, my body is lying, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm in control, not my body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, okay. So real quick, when we were doing the sprint triathlon on Saturday, and then doing the pull-ups and the sit-ups. Mm-hmm. So Justin, he destroyed me as far as time went. Like,
dude, I'm telling you, the minute rest works.
Well, but like even without, I mean, dude, Justin, there were times when I was waiting like 5 minutes between certain reps, you know? So like you were killing me and you were doing great. And some of that has to do with the fact that, on Friday I had to do 2 days worth of workouts, but also you generally are faster than me as far as like just completing the sprint triathlon.
Not generally.
Yes.
On the running part, we're equal. On the swimming part, I think we're pretty equal. On the biking part, generally, you're faster. At least, like, when we did it 4 months ago.
Yeah, well...
I think the big thing was the pull-ups because you burned yourself out the day before.
Right. Yes.
And I hadn't.
And so this is what I was going to say. I feel like Saturday was the first time in my life that I pushed myself past the past the breaking point.
Yeah.
Okay, because I broke, man. Mentally, I broke. After the bike, I was like, I don't want to do so the way that Justin and I did it, we did the pull-ups and the sit-ups first.
Yeah.
And then we did the running, the biking, and then the swimming last. And usually you flip the sprint around. You do the swimming first and then run last. But we did the other way around.
Just for convenience.
Yeah, because swimming and then getting out and running and stuff is just not...
Yeah. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do hard things.
Yeah, we don't want yeah, so... But anyway, so the bike was the second to last workout, but I hadn't completed my pull-ups. And so Justin came up with the idea. I was like, every time, like, do your run, then do some pull-ups, and then do your biking, then finish off your pull-ups. So that's what I did. Mm-hmm. And after the biking, I was like, I can't do the pull-ups. I just can't do it. Like, I kept looking at the bar. I went over to the bar and I can't do this. But I was like, I have to. Like, we're gonna report on this. Like, we're gonna, and Justin's doing it. Like, he's already done with the pull-ups. He's already halfway through swimming, so he's almost done. And I'm over here like I haven't even started swimming, and I think it was 50 or 25 pull-ups left or something.
Yeah, I think it was 25.
And I was just like staring at the bar like I can't. But then I ended up doing it, and so it's kind of going back to what you were just saying about the New Zealand race or what's her name? Anel. Yeah. So what she said about like, you know, if your brain's telling you can't do anymore and then you do more, it's like, well, then obviously it's lying. So I did some more pull-ups, and granted I can only do like a couple at a time, but those last 5 pull-ups, so I was doing sets of 5. Yeah. Those last 5 pull-ups, dude, I yanked myself up, like flew up because I was like, I'm done. Yes. The last 5 I was just like so like powerful pulls, you know, not just like and I was like, what the heck?
Where was that
this whole time?
Yeah.
And anyways, and then I had to jump at the pool, and that was literally, just it was so hard.
Dude, it was
We're
tough.
a bunch of babies because, to be honest, there are people out there doing like 200-mile sprint or it's not a marathon.
I don't know.
Race.
Whatever,
200-mile race.
Like a biking race or
running.
Dude, freaking
the ones that run.
Weirdos.
So, anyways, that was like to the point where I mentally broke, but I kept going. For whatever reason, and it just felt like my body wasn't like in the pool. My body wasn't like moving. Like I had to like it was moving obviously, but it wasn't moving.
Yeah, it wasn't like most times when you go swimming.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and like parts of my body, like my hand would be tired, so it wouldn't move.
Yeah.
You know, in the perfect form.
Yeah.
You know, I was just kind of sloppy.
You're just getting to the end.
Getting to the end, and so it really like taught me mental endurance. And, oh man, it was nice. It was good. So
recently I've been going through, because I'm actually going to be on a podcast in the next week.
That's awesome.
One of my past podcast guests, and I've been going through all of the podcasts and writing down what each person says is the hardest thing they've ever done, you know, and trying to synthesize some lessons from it. And one of the things that I know for a fact with every single one is that people who do hard things regularly have higher endurance in many different aspects. So, and usually it's endurance of pain.
Yeah.
Like they can stand pain longer, whether that's mental pain, spiritual pain, physical pain, emotional pain, financial pain, and, you know, risk or whatever. You know, they can stand that pain longer. And so I think that's one thing that a lot of people, and myself included, should really focus on developing as, you know, a form of learning how to do hard things and improve, because, like, if you can endure a lot of pain, you can do so much. So,
yeah.
Anywho.
Cool. So, let's move on to the second challenge that you that you accepted.
Yeah, I'll do it pretty quick. Investment plan, I kept it super simple. My one and major goal is to invest in a cash flowing rental property. And every month I've set
within the next year
by November 1st, 2021. And actually the plan I have set has me making offers on places in April, I think.
Okay.
So every month there's like one key thing I'm focusing on. Mm-hmm. This month I'm learning about target markets. So deciding on the criteria by which I'll evaluate, coming up with 5 target markets, narrowing it down to 1, and using that as my target market. Yeah. That's November. And then next month, I think it's finding out how to fund the deal, you know, creating things like that. And then the next month after that is pursuing the methods of funding it. And then the next month after that is creating my team in the target market. So real estate agent, property manager, whatever things I need. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it is making the offers. So it's a step-by-step. And like I said, I kept it very simple. Like the only one with action items is November, because it's November now. So I need to do those. Come December, I'll create the action items for that and move forward. So that's my investment plan.
Cool.
Sweet.
Love it.
All right, let's talk about the action items from this last week's podcast guest. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, it's episode 73, Hans Struzina. He is an Olympic rower, a real estate investor, and just a super fun guy to talk to. And the action items he gave us were to write your goals daily, get on an exercise routine, and then audit the people around you. Ty, what are your thoughts?
What does it mean to write your goals daily? Like literally like sit down at the end of the day and write down like, these are my goals for tomorrow.
The sense he was giving, I mean, you can do that, and that's definitely what I do, but the sense he was giving was like your large goals, your big goals, you know?
Huh.
And it was under the context of, in 2016, he was on the United States Olympic rowing team, right? And I believe they took 4th place. And he noted to me afterwards that no one, in the run-up to that, no one on the team really talked about their goal. Like, it was taboo because they didn't want to jinx it, right?
Right.
And he takes the opposite tack and says, you have to keep, you know, your goal at top of mind always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where he's coming at with this.
What?
What do you mean, what?
I'm confused still. Like,
okay, so for example, let me explain. This morning, I wrote down my goals, meaning I want to own 15 cash flowing rentals. Okay. I want to podcast full time.
So not like a to-do list for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
But to literally write down goals that you already have. Like
a habit of mentally cementing those into your mind.
Right. So you know what I mean? I want to do an Ironman race someday.
Like keeping them top of mind.
So I just keep writing that down.
Every day.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And I believe that Grant Cardone recommends a similar thing. Grant Cardone writes his like audacious goals every single day or something like that. And don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. Right,
because so I guess the saying or the phrase goes that like an unwritten or like a goal that's unwritten is just a dream.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so this is like making it more concrete, written down. Yeah. So you're okay. Because I mean, I've heard of the idea of like you look in the mirror and you can like think like self-affirmations, but then also like go over your goals mentally. But like writing it down every day, that's like, makes it a little bit more concrete, I guess. Because you're bringing your thought to reality on a piece of paper.
Yeah. And not just that, but I think it also, because we get like so distracted in our day-to-day life. Like even me with the podcast, like I write down my to-do lists and stuff, and then I sit down and I think, oh, but I could create a new product to sell or something on Printful. You know, I could come out with a jacket or something with the Hard Thing Podcast logo. That would be fun, you know. Yeah. And I get distracted doing that, whereas what I should really be focusing on is follower acquisition and spreading the message to more people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But having that goal, I think, keeps us focused on what really matters to us. Because it was another one of my guests, Mike Sesniak. He says, doing things doesn't matter unless the things you do matter. And it was in the context of like that. Being productive and such.
I love that.
Yeah. It was really pithy when I heard it.
Well, because it goes back to how I've been talking about my goals. You know, in the past have always been. I guess the change that I made was the goals I'm making this year. At the beginning of this year, the goals I made were like publishable goals.
Yes.
Because those are things that matter.
Yeah.
You know, so and not that like personal goals that aren't publishable.
Right.
Don't matter, but things that you can give value to other people are going to matter more just because it's between two people. Now it's valuable to two rather than just me.
It's more real. It's more objective.
Right.
And actually, I had this thought the other day, and I put it up on my Parler account if you guys want to check me out.
Oh, snap.
It's just the Hard Thing Podcast.
Justin's using Parler.
I am, because
that's cool.
Well, also, less people are there, so I figure that might be a way for me to cut through the noise a little bit better. But anyways, writing goals down and reaching your goals in and of themselves is not worthwhile, right?
Right.
But like actually making progress in your life towards where you want to be, because you've reached goals and because you've written down, that's what matters. Yes. And I think too many times we like I told you before, we like checking off those boxes just to feel good, even though that doesn't, like what we did didn't move us anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
All right, next one. Get on an exercise routine. So if you want to join us, we're going to be doing the Murph Challenge next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be...
just a Murph every day.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, not complicated, but difficult. So that will be 12 miles that we'll have run in 1 week.
That'll just be...
No, because you run a mile before, you run a mile after.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, I forgot about the running.
Yeah, it's fun. So, I wish we had weighted vests, though. If any of you guys out there have weighted vests, we'd love to borrow them for the next week.
For free.
For free, yeah.
Go online and buy them.
So, do you have anything about that? Because, I mean, that's pretty...
Oh, yeah.
We talk about that a lot.
The one thing I will say is, though, what's the rule? There's like a rule about habits with... just habits in general of...
21 days?
Don't let it happen twice. Don't miss something twice.
Oh, I see.
Because, for example, there was a couple of years back where I was going to the gym every day. Like I made a routine, right? But then I went on vacation for a week, and when I got back, I didn't get back to the gym for 2 months.
Dude, I hate vacation.
And it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was just because I was out of the habit. I was like, I don't need to.
Yeah.
You know? Because I've been on vacation for so yeah. Anyway, if you get in the routine, don't let yourself get out of the routine more than one time.
Yeah, that's freaking true.
So,
gosh, vacation. Anyways, next one is audit the people around you.
What does that mean?
Well, in the podcast, we talk a lot about being around 9s and 10s, right?
Okay.
And it's basically the idea that you think about, are the people around you helping you get towards your goal or not? And go ahead.
No, is it kind of the idea of like you are the average sum of the people around you, or the 5 people around you?
Kind of. Whatever. It's definitely along those ideas, but it's more so like
finding out which one of them are pigeons and then replacing them.
No, dude, that sounds so heartless and cruel.
I know it does. That's why.
Honestly,
that's kind of what it means.
My guess was like, yeah, you need to take real stock of like who you're spending your time with. So I mean, I think the moral of the story is think about the people that you want to be like, that you know, and spend more time with them. And this will also be kind of, what's the word? Like sectioned off, or what's it called? Like partitioned? That's not the word, but you know what I mean. Like one person will have one aspect that you really admire.
Yes. Okay. I like that because I was just thinking like there's a couple people in my life that I'm like I really admire certain characteristics, but then there's other things that I actually detest. That
Exactly.
I'm like I never want to go down that
Exactly.
route of living like as far as like that characteristic.
In that way, yeah.
And so yes, I like that. Like you have to find people like I want to be like them in this way, and then you kind of isolate that.
Yes.
You kind of take that and say, okay, I'm going to focus on that characteristic that they have and kind of copy it.
Exactly. And then you spend more time around them in that area. You know what I mean? However possible. So any thoughts on this?
No.
Okay. Well, I have one. I actually, while we were at the gym on Saturday doing our Dead Week finale, we saw a friend of ours, and he's a real estate investor, financial advisor, just a super smart guy. Maybe he's listening to this podcast. I don't know. He was actually a guest on the podcast. His name's Chase Comby. And he, we were talking, and I asked him a question, and then he's like, hey, man, when are you going to come work for me? And I was like, I don't know, doing what? And he was like, just doing finance stuff, real estate stuff. Like, I'll help you make a butt ton of money. Or he didn't say butt ton of money. He just said a lot of money. And, like, even just being around him, he's, like, a super upbeat guy, super fun.
Right.
But, like, it was, like, a challenge to me,
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, when are you going to start living up to the potential that you kind of think you have? But, like, he didn't say like that, but it was just, like, fun and nice. And, like,
You kind of take it that way, right? Your response to him.
Well, the way I responded, like, I, like, kind of drooped down. I looked down, and I was like, I don't know, man. And I just kept coming up with these excuses and crud,
Yeah.
And, like, eventually I was just like, dude, I just have a bunch of excuses right now and stuff. And he's like, hey, man, whatever. Like, but he was super nice. He was super nice.
Yeah.
But I could tell he was like, come on, man, you can do this. And afterwards, I like noticed that like you got to spend time around people that like are nice and challenge you like that,
Yeah.
Like he wasn't saying like, hey, I bet you can do this. But instead he was saying like, hey, like, come on, there's opportunities here. Come follow me. He was generous, open, and he was inviting me to like take action and rise up, and that was just a fun small example. But like that's the kind of people that like I think Hansa's talking about, like people who, they're your friends, but they also challenge you in certain ways. They almost expect you to be better than you are, not in a condescending way or not in a holier than thou way, but in a way that's like kind of empowering, Because
like in that sense, it's like Chase already believes that you're worthy of working with him and making good money,
Yeah.
And so he's expecting you like, why aren't you? Because like this is who you are.
Exactly.
Why aren't you doing it?
Exactly. He and well, plus he's just like happy and living life. But that's what I mean though. Like you look for people that are how you'd like to be.
Right.
And with simple questions, he kind of challenged me a little bit to be more than I am, but not in a mean way, but in a very inspiring way. And he probably doesn't even realize this because he's just, doing his thing, working out and whatnot. But so I guess look for people like that in your life, and again, in different facets, but also try and be this kind of person with the people around you. And it's really hard because you have to be tactful. You can't just go around and be like, hey man, when are you going to work out with me? But like, it's tough. But that's one example recently for me that has really like, I don't know, impressed me.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
All right. Ty, you got some challenges for me, friend?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Oh, I do indeed. I have some challenges for you.
Go ahead.
Justin Lewis. Challenge number 1. Justin revealed to me before this podcast that he loves eating ice cream.
Did so much. And if you saw me, you'd understand.
He is addicted to ice cream. So he actually asked me to give him his challenge.
I offered it.
He offered it up.
I had another challenge that was food related too.
Yeah?
But I'll give it to you next time.
You know what? I'm not even going to give you this challenge because you gave it to me, but I'm going to do one that's related to it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm actually going to give that one last now because it's going to be new.
Challenges. No, not yet. I need to know what it is.
Accepted. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one that we're going to give you now. This is going to be different from that one. Build a passion project. What do I mean by that? Okay. I built a sauna, okay, over the past couple months. I want to build a wood gasifier, Gasifier. Everyone should look that up because it's the coolest thing ever. A wood gasifier. Awesome. It's been around technology forever, but nobody knows about it. I want to build a computer, so I bought these components, electronic components, kind of put together transistors and stuff. So I'm learning about that. Okay, I have another passion project of I have another one. I can't remember what it is right now, but I have another one. I know. Anyways, point is, I've had all these like projects that I want to build something, right?
Yeah.
And granted, some of them cost money. Like the more expensive one would be the sauna. The less expensive one would be this electronic component stuff because it's like cents for pieces, right? So, anyways, that being said, find and begin building a passion project, something that you can actually make with your hands. Okay.
Okay.
That's the first challenge.
Okay.
The second challenge is to run 2 miles every single day. I gave this challenge to you, I think 2 weeks ago.
No. You gave me the challenge to run 1 mile every day.
Oh, really? Well, I've just increased it.
Yes.
And every time you say no to it, I'm going to increase it by 1 mile.
Well, that's not okay. Go ahead.
kidding.
What's the next one?
I don't want to say that because I don't want to force you to take that one unless
Do
it's
that
like...
to you too, to retaliate.
Well, I don't have to accept, so...
Okay.
Neither
well,
do you.
Now you have to upload 2 songs
Okay.
to Spotify.
No.
Okay.
Okay. The next challenge is going to be to count your calories for 1 week, and then for the next week, decrease that. I guess we'd have to look into it, but report back to me, and then you and I will come up with a healthy calorie intake that you have to follow for the next week. It's a 2-week deal, like all of them, I guess, but.
So, build or start a passion project.
Yep.
And then the second one is run 2 miles every day
Yes.
for a week or 2?
For 2 weeks,
For
every
2
day.
weeks. Flip.
Which,
And then,
which, to be honest, next week you're going to be running 2 miles every day anyway, doing the Murph. So
yeah. Maybe I'll just start the Murph early.
yeah, maybe.
Don't know what else to do with my workout time. And then count calories for 1 week, and then healthy calorie for the second week. Ah, dude, those are good
You
ones.
could accept all 3 if you want,
I don't want to.
but you could.
I'm not going to. Dude, I don't know what I would do for any of those. Okay, give me some time, silence for pondering. Okay, I know I'm not going to do that first one. The passion project. Well, because I'm already doing so many other things that, like, I'm trying not to get distracted.
Yeah,
You know?
that's fine.
Well, especially because...
That's fine. So
Yeah.
then don't accept it.
Okay, I won't accept the first one, so
Okay.
check that off.
Unaccepted.
Fudge. When does the week start for the calorie thing? Does it start tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So it's
So you start counting your calories tomorrow.
from Mondays.
Yep.
Dude, I'm going to try and eat so much this week if I do that one. And
Why?
because then it would offset, so then you're like,
Would it?
no, like take
Because
600 calories off, and then it'd
That's not
still
how
be
it's
like
going to
healthy.
be.
Well, you're a fag.
Just-
By the way, I'm not doing 1,800 calories if I do that one.
Why?
Because that's like nuts.
Dude, that's how much I eat. Justin, just FYI, your body doesn't need that many calories, especially when your job is to sit on your bum.
Yeah, but I can't do that.
It's just the truth.
I really can't.
You can.
Not for a week.
Dude, I did it. Okay, I'm sorry, but I did it for 8 months and lost 40 pounds.
Okay.
And I'm healthy as frick.
Okay.
I'm really not that healthy right now, but I was back then.
Okay. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do any of those. This is tough.
Well, if you run, you're already going to be doing running 2 miles every day.
Next week.
Yeah.
I want to do it this week. Dude, the challenges ruin me because after I finish challenges, it's like, what now?
Yeah.
It's like the vacation thing. Like now it's like, I got no reason to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could do a thing in the future where it's like these are 1 week challenges, and then you have a week of rest to just kind of like.
Well, I don't need
reset.
rest. I need like to not need to rest.
You need like a momentum.
Yeah. All right. I'll do the calorie counting one.
Oh, snap. Okay.
And what is it again?
What is what?
The calorie counting, because you added so many things to it.
I literally added one thing. Do you remember what that one thing is, Justin?
Intermittent fasting.
Okay, then.
Why don't you be intermittent straight for once?
Okay. That's what it means.
Yeah, whatever. Calorie counting. Gosh.
Okay.
That is difficult. Dude, food is like...
Dude, it's... Yeah.
Food is like food for me, okay?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like when you make food like the comfort, that's okay, right? Like to have comfort food and like to eat that and everything. But like there comes a point where you're letting it control your life. And I'm not saying that it's doing that to you.
Right.
I'm just saying in general, like if you can let it control your life, and then your body becomes unhealthy.
Yeah.
And you can have issues. So I guess really what this does for you is that it forces you to realize that you don't need as many calories as you're actually eating. Most of the time what happens is, so your stomach stretches out when you're eating.
Yeah.
And the reason why you can't do the 1800 calories is because you've stretched your stomach out. So now you need to fill it to feel hungry.
Yeah.
But what you need to do is allow your stomach to go to normal size. And then once that happens, this happened to me. So after the 8 months, I would go to JCW's.
Right. Well, JCW's is a horrible example.
Why?
Because like their stuff is so big.
No. I'm
order a small shake and it's like normal size.
Okay, that's my point. So you get a huge burger, right? Okay, before I was doing this intermittent fasting / calorie counting, I'd go there. I could eat a burger. I could eat a large cheese fry thing, huge,
dude, that's
right?
nuts.
And I could even eat more. Like I could eat one of their milkshakes. They have huge milkshakes, right? All this food, I could eat it, and I'd feel full.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be to the point where I'm like, oh, my stomach hurts. After the calorie counting thing, I ate half a burger, and I had to get a kid's cheese fry, and I couldn't even finish that, and I was full.
Dude, well, that's good. That's
That's all the food I needed.
Yeah.
But it was because my stomach had shrunk to the point to the normal size, to where I wasn't having to eat so much.
All right.
Now, so that's what this does for you. Is it helps shrink your stomach. And that's the same idea with like gastric bypass.
Yeah.
The only thing is you're doing it naturally.
Yeah. Without like the...
Is that what it's called? Gastric bypass?
Is that the right... know.
It's the one where like they staple your...
gastric bypass, yeah.
Yeah, you staple
your stomach stapled.
Stomach or whatever.
Which is freaking weird.
Yeah, it's totally weird. But the thing is like if you can do this organically, like you can do it naturally.
Yeah.
Because your stomach is...
It's made
you're the
to
one
do that. Yeah,
every single day.
I'm the one who
you're
did
the
it.
one stretching it. So it's like, just let it...
Dude, I better eat a lot today. But this is good. This is good because, like, listeners, I am feeling trepidation. I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling, a weight. And that's exactly why Ty and I are doing these Thursday meditation episodes. So you guys understand that you are going to be challenged. It's going to be hard, but you can do it, it's a challenge. So rise to the challenge. Thank you guys for listening to another episode. You guys can do way more than you think. I know that because I can do way more than I think, and I am probably the most average among us. If you want to support the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the show. Never miss an episode. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell. So, again, never miss an episode. We want to give you a freebie, so go to audibletrial.com/thehardthingpodcast. Get a free audiobook from Audible. They offer over 180,000 titles on all sorts of genres, and they're honestly one of my favorite things. So go there, get that free book. And then join our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/thehardthingpodcast. There, you can band with like-minded individuals, get challenges, give challenges, do things like me and Ty are doing right here. And then I also want to invite you to go to OURrescue.org, learn about Operation Underground Railroad. They are a nonprofit organization that goes undercover to rescue kids from sex trafficking. They're really important. They do really good work. And actually, we're trying to raise $1,000 for them. So if you also want to donate some money there, go to gofundme.com/overcoming-average. Donate some money to that campaign. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in, listening up. If you see us around, reach out to us. If you see us on the socials, reach out to us. We'd love to have chats with you, talk to you. Ty, what's your socials?
Well, right now, let's just do the Instagram, and I think it's Crockett Ty with 3 T's.
All right, Ty, send that to me and we'll put it up in the show notes.
Yep.
And then also reach out to the Hard Thing Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Parler, almost anywhere. And we'd love to have your input, your insights. We'd love to talk with you, continue this conversation about doing hard things. But most important of all, you guys go out and do some hard things, okay? Because every time you do, you will overcome average.